What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, D&O commentary. Once again, we had the messed up audio files, but I think we've got the problem figured out. Anyways, we're going to watch this game. So we have Elvis Be Back versus Kaiman Senpai. Now, we just actually saw Kaiman with his Burning Abyss, 1714 versus Elvis Be Back, 1782. That is a really high rating, by the way, 17. Anytime you're over 1750, you're probably in like the top 10 on Dueling Network. Now, we see an Abyss Dweller play. I assume he went Manju and then probably followed that up with the standard Kaleidoscope play, attacking a face down. Now, we know that Kaiman's probably playing Burning Abyss because he was just playing that, and I was like, oh wow, this could be really bad. But it looks like he's playing traps, man. He's got Ring of Destruction. He's gonna take 1700, and the thing that makes that worse is that was actually a powered up. That was actually a powered up Abyss Dweller. It had 2300 attack, so there's not a Burning Abyss that I can think of outside of Dante that it couldn't have like attacked over in defense mode. You know what I mean? None of the normal monsters. So you see, Elvis is going to get himself a copy of Kaleido Mirror, and okay, he's going to normal summon Manju. He must have had that Manju from the first turn, but that's met with skill drain. And what's really bad is there wasn't even a discard. It was like, it's not even like Kaiman could have followed up. He couldn't have even stopped the Abyss Dweller with like a Phoenix with Wind Blast or anything because he has no hand. Although that does stop him from getting trished. You see a Nekroz of Kaleidoscope plate. So I guess he didn't Kaleidoscope the Unicorn, unless he did it turn 1. But regardless, Elvis Be Back is going to search some cards. Okay, what's he going to search for? Did he not search from... I actually don't believe he searched from Herald. Okay, that's kind of weird, but whatevs. He's going for Exiton Knight. Trying to do a cheeky play here. And Kaiman says, I don't think so. I'm just going to Solemn Warn you. And to me right now, this match is kind of breaking down to, I think that Kaiman's traps are basically beating Elvis's aggression. If you look at every major play he's tried to do, like every major summon, to me, it's been met with a trap. He tries to go for the Abyss Dweller play that's shut down by Ring of Destruction. He tries to summon a Manju. It's shut down by Skill Drain. He tries to go for an Exiton Knight to clear out everything. Maybe he was going to Book a Moon it or something like that. It's met with Solemn Warning. And now he's free to just attack with his Graft. He, once again, sets a monster. I'm sure somebody's going to get on me for saying graft with the T at the end as opposed to graph with like an F sound. And now Graph is in beatdown mode, just attacking him. And, I mean, Kaiman obviously is just keeping the pressure up with the traps. I mean, he's pretty much had a loaded back row this entire game, and Elvis has not been able to get through it. If he doesn't get through this back row, I don't see him winning this game. Skill Drain is going to lock down all of his major plays. And, I mean, he'll kind of have to just go into beatdown mode, right? Like Valkyris and Trishula just summon beaters and hope that he wins. He gets himself an excellent card with Preparation of Rites. He's able to get Brio. And he gets Dance Princess. I was looking at Dance Princess. I was like, what are you going to do? Because you don't really have an effect. So, like, maybe you're going to tribute it, I assume. He is, in fact. He's going to play Nekroz of... he's going to play the Nekroz Cycle, excuse me. Looks like he's trying to get that Unicorn back. He's paying 4 stars to get what back? Okay, of course, to get Unicorn. And he's going to add the Banish Unicorn back to his hand. So no harm, no foul. Right now, he could do 1300 damage. He could put Kaiman in the danger zone where one monster could essentially kill him. But he has a Mirror Force. And when I saw that, honestly, my jaw just dropped. I was like, this guy has every trap he needs. And again, this is simply Kaiman just having so many traps. And as a Nekroz player, you might start to feel powerless because you're looking across the field and you're like, shit, am I playing, Sertella Knights here? Like, the back row's been loaded the entire time. But you still have that, like, Kaiman still has that skill drain just as his blanket protection. And, I mean, Graph is... like probably just going to keep attacking, and he gets an Alec on top of that. Now he's able to do legitimate damage. I'm kind of surprised he didn't just attack right there. I was like, maybe he's going to make Acid Golem or something like that. I thought Acid Golem was a possibility, but no, instead he goes for Dante. And he ends up hitting a Skarm on top of that. Like the luck stacking is real. That was an excellent hit. Now it is sort of countered with a Max C, but it's only going to net Elvis 1 card. And unfortunately, he is looking at taking 2600. So, I mean, he's practically 1 attack from dying now. The Seer is almost enough to kill him. And during the end phase, obviously Kaiman can get a card. No reason to get Tour Guide here. You got skill drain on the field. If he had any discard cards like Karma Cuts or Divine Wrath, Phoenix Wind Blast, you might as well just go ahead and get Graph now, because you might as well, you know, get another card from your deck like a Skarm or something like that. Maybe a Farfa for a defensive card. All right, so play goes back to Elvis. He's going to activate that Unicorn first to get Dance Princess. And I was thinking maybe he's just going to do that to potentially try and summon the Unicorn back, maybe get a Brio from his hand, try and set up a big play here. But I still was kind of concerned. Just everything that I saw was telling me that the back row of Kaiman was simply destroying Elvis's aggression. He just wasn't able to get anything going. He was never able to get into a rhythm. And you see he does get that Brio. He tries to go for a rank 4 here, summoning the Manju, knowing it's not going to do much of anything. Now here was a play that made me scratch my head, and I was thinking he must have something up his sleeve as he activates, or he summons Abyss Dweller, activates the effect, and then changes Torrential Tribute. Now here's the kicker. Abyss Dweller is going to resolve off field, which means his effect actually goes through. And that actually made me think, okay, Elvis he's got a legitimate chance of winning this duel, because that Dante doesn't get an effect and that Seer doesn't get an effect. And I mean, we know that he has Graft in his hand, so if he pitches a Graft for like a Wing Blast or something, it's not going to resolve. Now he's going for an aggressive play here. He searched out the Nekroz of Decisive Armor, and I was like, wait, that's exactly game. And sure enough, he tries to summon it, and it's met with Bottomless, and the bag of tricks, the bag of traps, or should I say, it just never seems to end, and Elvis ends up scooping it up, knowing that he must not have had anything else in his hand, no blue cards, because maybe he was gonna take 2 direct attacks with the Graph, and I was gonna pretty much kill him. He's asking for Kaiman's other back rows, and it looks like it was Breakthrough Skill and Book of Moon. And I would have bet everything that I owned that guy was gonna have like a Karma Cut back there. I would have bet my everything, man, my car, every single piece of clothing on my back. So he ends up having a Book of Moon and a Breakthrough Skill, which the Breakthrough Skill was pretty useless, in fact. So he actually the traps just pretty much took over the game right there. Yeah, we're going to game 3. Oh, excuse me. We're going to game 2. Excuse me. We are going to game 2. So I expected Elvis to probably side in Royal Decrees and Denko second. I think Denko gets a lot of mileage. I mean, not only did we see Battle Traps, but we saw Bottomless. We saw Ring of Destruction. We saw a lot of cards that's like Denko could just laugh at. Denko could really just destroy this matchup with Kaiman playing so many damn traps. And in our last game, we actually saw him play Karma Cut as well. So he opens up with Tour Guide, forced to go first. And I expect we'll see pretty standard Graph play involving Dante. Looks like that's exactly what we're going to see. Probably a Skarm in defense mode. I don't think we're going to see a double Dante. It's hard for me to put people on double Dante anymore. Loses out on Babar and Ring of Destruction, as well as a Mystical Space Typhoon. Doesn't hit any really ridiculous cards like a Seer or anything like that. He is setting a couple of cards in his back row. Nope, setting 3 cards. Okay, so possibilities are there for a Fire Lake. Possibilities are there. Well, I think he milled a Fire Lake, right? So some people still play 2 or 3. So possibilities for a Fire Lake, Breakthrough Skill, Manju Summon, that's met with Solemn Warning. I totally agree with that. I will never hesitate to burn a Solemn Warning when playing Nekroz if they're going to summon a Manju or a Senju turn 1. Like, I feel like, if nothing else, if you let them resolve that, then you're just basically letting them do whatever they want. You know what I mean? But especially with them playing like the Clown Engine, they could have dead cards in their hand. So I feel like just using Solemn Warning is the right play. Don't wait for them to get a Nekroz mirror in their hand or something like that for them to get the other piece that they need. Instant Fusion is played, and I was like, man, Norden's just in everything now. And Elder Entity Norden obviously is coming out. Let's see what happens here. He's going to get back that Manju, so Manju did not stay dead very long. And I thought maybe try and go for a cheeky Exiton play. Nope, in fact, he is going for a Abyss Dweller. Okay, and once again, it is actually powered up. That's met with Book of Moon. And I thought maybe a Regeki would be a fantastic follow-up, but he doesn't have it. And he actually just sets 2 back row. And that's a definite sign of weakness for Nekroz. Whenever anybody plays against Nekroz, you don't believe they're back row. Come on now. It's Nekroz. Like, there's no good back row. He ends up hitting a Skarm off of his Dante, as well as we see a Majesty's Fiend. And I'm thinking this duel is going to get ugly here. He's going to lose his Abyss Dweller, and in fact, he's not. He plays his own Book of Moon, and what that means is that Skarm's going to die. So he actually ends up pretty good there because you can't resolve 2 Skarms in a turn. So, you know, the Skarm, he's only going to get 1. But instead, he ends up tributing his Dante for a Vanity's Fiend, and which means he can add the Skarm back to his hand and he can still resolve the Skarm. Now, I don't know if he get a Turgad having Vanities. I think maybe he'd try and get like okay, ends up getting Rubik. I thought maybe he'd go for like a Farfa or something like that, give himself a little more removal. And the funny thing is, we've seen Abyss Dweller summon twice. Both times the Abyss Dweller has had 2300. It has had 0 impact. It is just, I can't say it's had 0 impact because obviously Kaiman has had to use removal on it, but it hasn't got the job done. I mean, you never see Abyss Dweller summon 2 times, 2300 times, or 2200 both times and just not do anything. And unfortunately, he's not able to play around the Vanities, so GG it is. Thank you guys for watching as always.